Hey guys, it's ACairconditioner and welcome to the finale of the Genshin Impact 2.3 main event, Amidst Snowstorms story. That was a mouthful. Last time, we continued to look out for the imposter Albedo, and on the way we kind of had some wholesome moment with Eula, Amber, Bennett, and Albedo. Luckily, we were also able to discover who exactly that imposter Albedo was, being the Whopper flower that we fought, or or the specific name being the Flower. But we still realize something is a bit off. There, maybe there's a chance that maybe we had a mistake somewhere in our investigation. So we're just gonna head back to Albedo's campsite for now, since we promised to meet up with him after, because we know that there's something a bit off. And if the final cutscene is indication of anything, well, something is a bit off. Also, I'm going to explain the cutscene more in detail a bit later on. By the way, because this is the finale, I want things right. I want to correct all of my past mistakes I had made during the Act 2 of the story, because I made a few mistakes in the end part. And I'm going to be showcasing the shop as well after I complete these missions off camera. Or on camera, depends. Now then, let's talk to Albedo again.
Traveler, Paimon. I suppose your story is ready.
Yep. How about you? Do you need some more time?
No need. I am also ready to tell my story.
Paimon calls dibs. Paimon first!
Please, go ahead.
Okay, here goes. Once upon a time, there was an evil researcher who went into the mountains and did a crazy experiment on whopper flowers to transform their appearance. After a lot of pain and suffering, the whopper flowers finally took on a human form. Then they stood by the side of the mountain to wait for unsuspecting bypassers. To whoever spoke to them, they would ask them questions such as, "Who am I? Who are you?" If the bypasser got the wrong answer, the last sound they'd make would be a yelp before the whopper flower ate them alive in one bite.
Ooh, truly frightening.
Yes, Paimon is truly frightening.
What the? You two aren't scared at all!
Maybe I'm just really tough. I don't know.
Don't go nitpicking, okay? If you didn't like the story, go write your own!
Ooh, in that case, I would have some horror elements in. After the whopper flowers eat someone, they would turn into that person.
In other words, the whopper flowers would ambush and then completely replace their victims.
And then adopt their newfound identity.
And then what? Go back to where the person lives? Enter their home? Eat their whole family?
Oh my god!
Paimon made up this story, but now Paimon's the one who's scared by it.
It's a good story. Oh, may I write it down? I may bring it up in future conversations.
What for? Just to scare people
Some
with?
people may not realize this,
Yes.
but that story is an
You've got a real mean
absolute...
streak, Albedo.
Okay, so a bit of a rant here, or tangent, whatever. Some people may not realize this. Paimon's story is actually possibly a call out, or very subtle foreshadowing towards the Dendro Archon. We know because there's a few things about the Dendro Archon, or a few theories about who the Dendro Archon is. And we know that it involves the story behind the whopper flowers and the Dendro slime. We're not gonna get into that right now, but just keep that in mind. I know that Island XD made a theory on that video. Great theory video, by the way. And I am surprised that they outright just nail it here. This is very subtle foreshadowing, or just very like small these are just small breadcrumbs to lead into the possibly reveal the Dendro Archon, which I'm guessing is gonna happen in about like 3 updates if they're gonna follow the same pattern. Because I'm saying that there's gonna be 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, then 3.0 for Sumeru to come out. Or the Sumeru might come out a bit more earlier than usual. I don't know. It's just that this is very subtle foreshadowing, only for being an update 2.3. This can also hint towards the fact that maybe Sumeru is going to come out a lot earlier, and that it's not going to take too much updates before we get to 3.0. I'm going to guess that right now. I think this is very subtle foreshadowing towards Sumeru the Dedra Archon. In fact, I know for sure this now. So, what's your story?
Mine is a little longer than yours. It starts with an alchemist. A great alchemist once created Subject 1. Subject 1 was her proudest achievement, and successfully blended into human society. No one ever would have thought that this friend of theirs was in fact a synthetic human. However, unbeknownst to Subject 1, the alchemist had tried the same experiment many times before he had come into being. Some of the rejects from failed experiments had been discarded, but had not died. Subject 2 was one such failed experiment. He was swallowed by a great dragon that came to rest upon a snow-swept mountain. Many years later,
not just a story, is
he was resurrected by the dragon's mysterious power. He saw all kinds of people on the mountain, including Subject 1, who had somehow miraculously blended in among them.
God!
Never in Subject 2's wildest imagination had he thought it possible for experimental life forms such as they to deceive everyone so successfully. He saw the way humans accepted Subject 1 as a friend, witnessed their affection as they addressed him by name. This was what Subject 2 wanted. Now, all that Subject 2 desired was to replace Subject 1 and take the joy of his existence for himself.
The music.
This is giving Paimon
The
the
music,
chills.
oh my goodness.
So scary.
Subject 2 began to unfold his plan. He stole Subject 1's books and notes, and studied all that Subject 1 had learned from the alchemist. Subject 2 was highly intelligent, and he learned quickly. He changed his face into an exact replica of Subject 1's face.
I knew it.
Then, he found a plant with mimicry capabilities, and transformed it using dragon blood and alchemy.
So this theory is also true then, because the last cutscene, when we saw 2 Albedos, I guess I'm just gonna talk about it. A lot of people are confused about saying why there's another Albedo. If you were listening to the lines carefully, all this story that Albedo's saying, it's not just a story. This is exactly what happened. If you don't know what Albedo's talking about, Rhine dollars or gold has created multiple Albedos. And the first Albedo he created was a failed experiment. That Albedo was part of the Primordial Human Project, or he was known as the failure of the Primordial Human Project. Let's call him Primordial, for example. This, by the way, this is I talked to my friends, and one of my friends just mentioned him as Primordial because it'll be less confusing. Then just call him Albedo first. It'd be kind of weird. So Primordial was a failed experiment created by Rhine Dollar. As such, he was fed to Durin, the ancient venomous dragon that Rhine Dollar also created. And Gold finally completed creating a synthetic human being, that being Albedo. Now, here's the misconception that a lot of people are having. There were in fact 2 imposter Albedos, meaning there were 3 Albedos total. Albedo the Alchemist, Primordial Albedo, and the Wildflower Albedo. I believe that the switch happened, personally. I think the switch happened in Act 2. Because the thief was, of course, the Primordial Primordial. He ran away with the notes, and we actually met him multiple times. if we remember the Albedo that we saw talking to Sucrose and Timaeus, Ether said that there's something off about him. That was not Albedo, that was Primordial. And when we met Albedo after trying to corner the thief in the cave, we noticed that he didn't have the Star Mark deck. That is also Primordial. The Albedo we met, and then Albedo we met after that is the actual Albedo. In Act 2, after the avalanche scene, the Albedo that we met after we found Bennett again, I think that was the Whopper for Albedo that Primordial created himself. I think that's what happened between Act 1 and Act 2. It all depends on how long it takes to create a Whopper flower like creature, such as the Fellflower. Cause alchemy takes cause it would take a long time, right? So there is the full story behind this. The Primordial was in fact one of the first Albedos created by Gold or Rhindaughter. And he came back after being eaten by Durin, since right now Durin is dead in a way. So yeah, Albedo's story is exactly what happened a long time ago. And I know that for a fact because immediately when they said my story, we saw that same Albedo in that cutscene. That same cutscene with this Albedo without the star mark, that is Primordial.
And so, not only did Subject 2 transform his own appearance to perfectly match that of Subject 1, he also created a third entity, Subject 3.
What? There's 3 of them now?
But Subject 2 wanted to become a perfected human. So, he erased a mark in both his and Subject 3's necks. For these marks were symbols of imperfection.
He purposely erased it?
In my view, it was probably a subconscious act, an instinct. He so desperately craved to become a perfect human being that he forgot something. Human beings are defined by their flaws. Subject 2's plan was meticulously crafted. Subject 3 would draw Subject 1's attention. After Subject 1 disposed of Subject 3, he would assume the threat had now disappeared and would let his guard down. The next moment that Subject 1 was alone, Subject 2 would make his move. He would eliminate Subject 1 and become the only one remaining. He would secretly replace the Subject 1 of everyone's memories and inherit his identity, residence, clothing, sword, name, and friends. People would have no idea that the individual they knew had become somebody else from one day to the next.
This is way too scary. Paimon's never gonna be able to trust anyone again.
But just before Subject 2 could carry out his plan, a unique stranger entered the mix. Subject 2 tried to make contact with this person, but found that they could somehow sense he was different from Subject 1.
And I suppose this mysterious stranger was us, the Traveler?
What's wrong? Are you scared?
Not really.
What happened then? What happened to the stranger?
He became a new stage in Subject 2's plan. One more person that Subject 2 had to dispose of. It's as if there were 3 identical roses in a garden. Only one of the 3 was a fine specimen, while the other 2 were defective specimens that bore poisonous thorns. In all the world, only the gardener who tended to them could tell which was the good specimen. People do not like poisonous plants. Only a perfect rose can fetch a high price. If the inferior specimens wanted to conceal the fact of their worthlessness, they would have to take the gardener out of the picture, using their poisonous thorns. This is exactly what Subject 2 was thinking. So, he hid in the shadows and waited patiently. Maybe soon, he would get his chance to become truly human.
This is not just a story. These are real events. Albedo's trying to tell me the cruel and the unbelievable truth.
That was intense! So what happened after that? Did Subject 2's plan succeed? Paimon can't bear thinking about it.
Fortunately, it is just a story. And even in this story, Subject 2 did not succeed. But you can never let your guard down on Dragonspine.
You took care of him.
Monsters mutated with Durin's power and blood are also creatures of Rhine-Daughter, just like me. You must beware of all such creatures.
Don't say that. You're not a monster. You're my friend.
I'm glad to hear that. It's okay. I know what I am. You and I are both different, so there is no need for me to hide the truth from you. The only thing is that sometimes, when I think about how mighty the power of alchemy is, I feel so small. As beings who set foot in this world, how arrogant are we in desiring to control our destiny, and in desiring to create? Is creation an arrogant act, traveler? If not, why do we call the ones that created us and control us gods? If it is, then what qualifies us to call ourselves creators?
Oh my god.
How far must we take our reverence and respect? And what purpose does it serve?
There's a lot to look into in this dialogue. Also, the traveler goes straight into the point. Damn. How did you feel when you took out the imposter?
Nothing special. But whenever I think about it, I feel a twinge of grief.
Poor Albedo.
Hello? Traveler, are you here?
Amber?
Is that Amber?
Thought we might find you here.
Yola.
We're here to deliver a message from Cyrus. There's gonna be a big event down at the base camp, and they want you there too, Traveler. Winter camp is nearing its end. Apparently, even provisional instructors are required to attend.
Looks like we need to go, Albedo. Bye for now.
Then I won't keep you. I have some things to attend to here, so forgive me for not seeing you down.
Don't worry about it. There have been no issues getting up and down the mountain recently. Is everyone ready? Let's not keep them waiting.
I don't even know what to say to this. I'm speechless. Let's take a walk, so I can tell you what exactly I know. The failed human the primordial human experiment was the experiment conducted by Golden Rhine-Daughter. He created many different beings, all that looks like Albedo. However, only one was truly completed. The rest were discarded. The Albedo that we saw, aka Primordial, was an example of one of a being that was discarded. And he was the same being that we saw in the end cutscene for Act 2. I don't even know what to say. Honestly, when I first saw Albedo, I didn't think he was much, because I know he has a crazy mystery behind him. Like, he has this aura of mystery surrounding him, and I knew he would be a very interesting character, but I did not know to what extent. Color me surprised, because I am pleasantly surprised by this development. Albedo was such a fantastic character, and I honestly can't even say I hate him anymore. Or I cannot even say I'm indifferent with him anymore. He's just so good. God, I freaking love Albedo, dude. Oh my god. I'm just speechless. That's all.
Who is this guy?
Is he Joel's father?
Allow me to introduce Yozerv. He's Joel's father.
Oh my god.
Dad, this is that traveler I was telling you about. The traveler's helped me out loads in the past, and this time we even built a snowman together.
Joel has told me everything about you. I can't thank you enough.
I'm glad you're okay.
Wow, this is amazing! Wait a second. Why is Cyrus discreetly wiping tears away? And what is Pallad doing here?
Pallad is the hero of the hour this time. Go on, Pallad. Tell us what happened in your own words.
Okay.
Oh god.
The weather was fine on that fateful day, and I had a feeling that Lady Luck was smiling down on me. So I trusted my gut and set off to explore somewhere new, somewhere dangerous. Because where there is great danger, there is also great treasure.
Why does this sound so hard to believe?
I don't blame you.
But I had only been away from the group for a short while when I fell
Pallad.
down a slope and just started rolling.
Uh-oh. Did my bad luck rub off on him when we ran into each other on the mountain?
The place I fell to was somewhere I didn't recognize, and I'd sustained a few injuries. I remember thinking to myself, this is the worst luck I've ever had in my whole life. Then I met Yozerv. He'd heard the sound of me falling and came out to see what was going on.
Huh?
Wow, so it was completely by chance then.
I thought he must have been someone from the Adventurers Guild here for the event, but after a few words of conversation, it was clear that he was having memory problems. He didn't even know his own name. The temperature was freezing, and there was no time to deal with all that there and then, so I convinced him to come back to the camp with me and figure everything else out after we got there. We got back to the camp, ran into Joel, and the moment he saw him, he froze for a second with this completely stunned expression on his face, and then he started crying out, "Dad! Dad!" That's when Yozerv suddenly started to remember.
My memory has still not fully recovered, but Joel and his mother, they are the only ones that I will not, no, that I cannot forget.
Daddy.
Daddy's right here, Joel. Daddy's right
I
here.
don't think so.
Yozerf, don't you remember anything else at all? The poor princess, feeding the foxes?
I'm sorry. I have no recollection. Maybe it's because of the head trauma. I'm
You're
not
a
sure.
wallflower.
I woke up and found myself covered in blood. My things were gone, and there was nothing to indicate who I was or how I got there. I crawled into a cave and settled in for a slow recovery. After my legs and feet were a little better, my hunting skills were what kept me alive.
Dad, I was so worried about you.
I'm all right now, Joel. Oh, don't cry. Daddy's not going anywhere. I'm here to stay.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Is Traveler not that attentive? Could no one tell that this could be an imposter? I mean, I guess they believe that. I guess they believe that wallflower is permanently dead. They don't realize that that Primordial can just create it again. But whatever, then I guess. All's well that ends well.
You know what, though? I definitely think my luck got worse after running into Bennett on that mountain.
I knew it.
Don't call out Bennett like that, Pallad.
No. I just meant if it weren't for you, there's no way I ever would have run into Yozerv on a mountain this huge. Besides, we got back safely, didn't we? So don't blame yourself. Maybe sometimes miracles can only happen when you get just unlucky enough.
Pallad. When did you become such a smooth talker, huh?
Huh? Am I? I was just telling the truth.
Oh, yeah. I want to say thank you to the Traveler, Uncle Cyrus, Auntie Eula, and Auntie Amber. Thanks, everyone. You all helped look after me, and I will always remember it. But I guess I can't take the snowman with me, or it'll melt once it leaves Dragonspine. It's such a shame.
Oh, I can help with that. One moment.
Eula?
Huh? Eula?
Here, take this. It's powdered rime. Just add it to your snowman, and it will never melt.
Wow! Really? Oh, this is awesome! You're the best, Auntie Eula! Dad, I have an unmeltable snowman now! How cool is that?
How can I ever repay you all?
Don't mention it.
Thank you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Dad, I want to go move the snowman. Can we do it now, please?
Okay, I'll be leaving with Joel now. I'm sure I'll see you all another day.
Very well, very well.
Foreshadowing.
It's time for Pallad and I to have another discussion concerning his breaches of adventurer discipline.
Huh? But Cyrus, I think I kind of made up for my mistakes this time, you know?
See you guys!
Oh, there goes Bennett.
Oh, I made this for you and Amber. Think of it as a winter souvenir. Aw, are you sure? This must be really important to you. Come on now, just take it. No need to make such a fuss.
Wow! Now our snowman won't melt either! Great!
Thank you, Eula. I'll treasure it.
You're welcome. Just keep it. That's all I ask. Amber and I have some business to attend to now. See you later.
See you,
Everyone's
too.
gone. Seems like they've all got their own stuff to do now. Oh! You know what? We've been on Dragon Spine all this time, and somehow Paimon still forgot to ask
Are
Albedo
you
about
still
how to
on
make
that,
a fruit
Paimon?
juicifier machine that could keep the juice fresh. Maybe we should try Timaeus again. He does seem pretty eager to please after all.
No, we just... Paimon. So we got the snowman torso. So this is the main reward for the 2.3 update. What this allows you to do is that you can basically have a snowman in your teapot, which is a nice little memento alongside the Paimon painting. For the fact that, well, we did this event, you know? Can't believe we're gonna do this again.
Traveler and Paimon, what can I do for you? Wait a minute. You've got that mischievous look on your face. Oh, you're not still thinking about that ridiculous juicer thing, are you?
She is, I'm not.
Timaeus, will you help us?
There's no us in this situation, Paimon.
Well, if the Traveler isn't really interested, then, yeah, maybe I'll give this one a pass. It's just the weirdest request ever.
No, but Paimon's Sunsettias
I mean,
are gonna go to waste without
Does
it.
a blended not exist?
In the time it would take me to research something like that, I could probably pick those Sunsettias again 10 times over.
New research project, Timaeus? We meet again.
Oh, Albedo, thank
Albedo?
goodness. So the situation is, Paimon wants a machine that can turn fruit into juice and keep the juice fresh. I mean, surely it's...
Majorly important, that's what it is. If you can manage to invent this, we'll never have to worry about
Does a
fruit
blender
going
not
bad ever
exist?
again.
That's impossible.
Oh, no. Oh, flashback! Wait, his neck!
Turning fruit into juice is not hard, but keeping it
Wait.
fresh is more difficult.
He has the mark on his
But
neck,
if you simply
though.
want to keep the fruit from rotting, there are many ways to achieve this.
What was that?
Right, Traveler?
Your neck. The mark is back. Is this a prank?
What about his neck?
What's wrong? Is there something on my neck?
No, it's fine.
From the look on your face, it's as if you thought I just played a practical joke on you that
What is
was
that
in
face?
exceedingly poor taste.
So it was a prank.
Albedo, you were saying, how do you stop fruit from going bad?
Well, one way would be to bury your fruit on Dragonspine, where the snow never melts all year round.
But then Paimon won't be able to eat them.
You could always live on Dragonspine.
No, too cold for Paimon.
Picky, Paimon.
Or you can give the fruit to me, and I would take it to Dragonspine for you. But since you don't like the cold, you'd have to send someone else to pick them up when you want them. This is where you come in, Traveler.
Suddenly sounds a lot more feasible with other people doing all the work. Okay then, shall we go with that idea?
Fruit buried on Dragonspine will stay fresh for much longer. However, it is also possible that the fruit will sprout and grow into fruit trees. Who knows? Maybe the next time you visit, it will have grown into an orchard. You can water the trees, add fertilizer, and when they finally bear fruit, you will have some fresh sunsettias.
No way! Then Paimon will have to be a gardener. That's not the goal here.
Oh? Well, I don't think being a gardener is so bad.
Oh wait, I just realized something. A gardener. I didn't expect Albedo to joke about this. Doesn't he care about what the mark means?
Albedo! Stop trying to get your hands on Paimon's super sweet Sensitias!
It bothers you, does it?
Of course it bothers Paimon! They are the rarest, super duper sweetest Sensitias ever!
That's not how
And
it
they're not
works,
for you.
Paimon.
Okay, but they're just Sensitias. I think you're only so attached to them because you don't have much.
Oh
fruit of
my
this
god, the
quality in your possession.
symbolism. I just
When
picked up
someone's
on it.
pockets are full
Dude,
and their spirit is fulfilled,
are you kidding me?
they don't easily fall prey to this kind of
Are
yearning.
you kidding me right now?
Really?
I see. That makes a lot of sense. Are you kidding me? That's... You can't just leave me like this. No.
Truly is fascinating.
No, I refuse. No, Albedo.
Dragonspine is too cold for ordinary fruit trees to survive. But if, one day, Dragonspine did become home to gardens and orchards, there would be more reasons for people to visit. Perhaps a little life is the key to attracting people. Life may exist in all kinds of unfathomable forms, and in all manner of unthinkable environments. Mysterious, yet tenacious. Perhaps this is what makes life so special.
Star Snatch Cliff is known for its
No,
views.
no. We're not ending up like this. No, we're not. No. Please. You can't end it off like this. No. I think we can...
Hear my wishes.
We will never know. Where is the second Albedo? Where is that? We'll never know.
Ancient alchemy truly is.
You are kidding me, right? Okay, fine. Fine. So, with the story done, I guess it's time for the event shop. Before we do the event shop, well, we don't have all the missions completed yet, so I'm just gonna leave it off for here. And I'll see you guys back when I finish up the final Dragonspine special training and make my last snowman. Maybe I'll make the snowman on camera. Who knows? I'll see you guys then.
Everyone can hear your voice.
Alright, so I am back after finishing the story, and here's what I'm going to be doing for the ending. I'm going to make the final snowman, since I completed everything to get all the event shop stuff. And because of that, I'll make the snowman, I'll buy everything from the event shop on camera. And we could be looking into the lore of the Cinnabar Spindle. Now, I did all the activities on camera. That includes the fall forward additional fights, all of the agility trainings and everything, because I don't think it'd be fun just to show you guys all that with not much to talk about. after that, I'm gonna be saying my stuff about how I felt about this event, and I think I'll just end it off there. This will be the last 2.3 video, unless there's something more, unless something else interesting happens in 2.3 that I think I should record. Other than that, expect this to be the last 2.3 video, because I won't be making any more of 2.3 events. The main event is over. So, starting us off, we're gonna make a snowman right here. I use my E skill for no reason. We're gonna make a snowman right here. I have one more. I'm gonna be using the last set that I have. I think I'm gonna be going for branch arms. Actually, no. I'm gonna make him normal. I'm gonna give him a cool scarf. And for a nose, I'm gonna give him this. Look at that. We have a 4 snowmen now. So now that we build a 4 snowman, we can finally get the final reward. The snowman torso. Now we have the power to make our own snowman in our own teapot. Next up is the event shop. You have to get the 2880 of that currency. You have to complete all of the 4 agility trainings, all 8 of this, and all 8 of this as well. And if you do that, you can get Alkahest, which I believe is the refined material for the Silver Spindle. Sorry, bad grammar. And we can get Ascension materials for weapons that are based off of Mondstadt, basically. So these Ascension materials you can only get in Mondstadt domains. It can get a tier 2 and a tier 3 version. So here's some hero split in case you want to level up more characters, and of course, Mystic Enchantment more to level up your weapons as well. Now, you need to get Vanquisher emblems for this shop right here. Now, to get Vanquisher emblems, you have to have completed at least Act 2 of the Amidst Snowstorms story and unlock Rise of the Fell Flower. Now, Rise of the Fell Flower has some missions, I believe. Completing all these missions will net you 720. You need 2520 specifically. If you do the math, you realize that as long as you complete all 6 missions, you only have to fight this boss fight 6 times. Make sure to complete these 6 missions within those 6 attempts, because if you don't, then you're gonna have to fight it I believe 3 more times at least, if you're not going to be doing any missions at all. So 9 times total if you're not doing the missions, 6 times with those 6 missions, and you should have just enough to completely buy out this entire shop. You can get your crown event side for this event, which is the main thing you should be going for, other than the last 2 Alkahest. And then we have talent books. They're all Mondstadt based. We have the Guides and Philosophies of Reason, Resistance, and Pallad. Again, these are all Mondstadt stuff. You can use these are for Mondstadt characters. I feel like they're self-explanatory by now. No Primo Gems. You cannot buy any Primo Gems in the shop. The only way to get Primo Gems is just through the event missions, and that's it. You can also buy yourself 500,000 Mora, and of course more of the. Actually, yeah, just Mora. No more heroes with no more Mystic Enchantment nor no Primo Gems. The main thing you want though, if you really don't care about buying out the entire shop, just go for the Alquest Crown of Insight. That's all you really need. With the entire event shop bought out, we can finally refine Cinnabar Spindle. Now, I upgraded this to its max already. If you're curious, I think there's a way that can show you what exactly you need to max out this weapon. I hope. I feel like I'm gonna feel dumb if I don't. No, sorry. Nope, there's no ways. Check. Sorry, guys. I think you need the Cabron stuff. You know, those like little tiles-like things that we just bought. You need those to upgrade the Cinnabar Spindle, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I loaded to level 90, and this weapon is surprisingly good for Albedo because of its defense percent. As or this is just good for any character that scales off of defense percent. That's really what you want. That's the character you want to give this to. Mainly this is for Albedo since A, his signature weapon, B, Albedo is a tank. Albedo is meant to be a defense god, so let's finally refine. We got R2. Now Elmo skill damage increased by 50% of defense. If we do that, we can upgrade that again to make it 60% of defense. R4 will make it, I believe, 70% defense, and then max refining it will net you 80% of the defense. Very, very good for Albedo, personally. Unfortunately, I don't have an Albedo of my own, so I can never check. Now, the last thing is that we want to look into the Cinnabar Spindle lore, because there is some lore behind the Cinnabar Spindle, and I think it's not complete until you max refine it. And now that I max refined it, let's see if there's more stuff to look into it, because I think this is more interesting in my opinion. Wow, there's there's still nothing really. No new entry for the Cinnabar Spindle. Yeah, no entry for the Cinnabar Spindle. Well, I guess we can just look into this. Separate the dust and the flames with joy, and extract the exquisite from the crude. For all the universe comes from a single source, and all things may be derived from a single thought. You must pursue that which your elder brother, the one-horned white horse, cannot accomplish. Reach the far side of philosophy and create a new destiny for myself and your brothers. Now, if you're curious, Cinnabar Spindle is what I would call the sister weapon to the Festering Desire. This is clearly referencing Durin, and the Festering Desire was an event given to you by the 1.2 update, which first introduced us to Dragonspine in the first place, and heck, it first introduced us to Albedo. The Cinnabar Spindle is a message to Albedo from Ryan Daughter, and therein lies another bit of a misconception. It is not confirmed, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If this is towards the original Albedo that we know, or the first Albedo that was lost. I think a lot of people are saying it might be the first Albedo, but I think it is the original one because of this line right here. Elder brother, the one-horned white horse cannot accomplish. I think the one-horned white horse is supposed to be, I guess, a reference to Primordial, aka the second Albedo, because it's elder brother. Failed experiments usually tend to be the first few experiments, while the completed one will be the youngest. Albedo will be the youngest, while his failed experiments, such as the one-horned white horse for example, is the elder Albedo. Also, the color of white is very interesting because Albedo is known as the Chalk Prince. So maybe therein lies that this one-horned white horse could be the imposter Albedo. Is a possible chance that we might meet the same imposter Albedo again in the near future. Next time we come to Dragonspine, we're gonna end up fighting him in the end. Cause if we're not fighting against Durin, I think the imposter Albedo will be a really good way to introduce another major enemy. In fact, I feel like this fight's gonna come. I think this fight will come since, well, he is from Conria, and right now Conria is destroyed, and I feel like we're gonna be fighting like other beings from Conria that are still alive. That includes this quote-unquote white horse, this elder brother. So I don't know. This could also be the message to the original Albedo, I guess. Maybe he says this to every single Albedo, unless they end up being failed. In that case, both answers would be correct. Now, my final thoughts on this event. I think this event is really fun, I think, because, well, the stuff here is kind of repetitive, but it's not long. It's not tedious at all. Like, the combat training sessions is not that long. I think you just like, as long as you have a pyro archer. I know I always use to teleport this on my own time, so it was kind of a bit of annoyance, but it wasn't bad. I think agility training was not as stressful as I really think it was. Some moments it was kind of stressful, but other moments it was not that bad. The story, I'm very, very, very happy because there's a lot of theories you can look into this. I specifically mentioned to a lot of my friends, or to my friends, that this event really, really focused on two major different theories. The identity of Albedo, which was finally answered, and its importance to Sumeru. Now, there's a few things I said last time I made a mistake on. The person speaking in the end cutscene for Act 2, that was not the imposter Albedo. That was still the original Albedo speaking. It was more of a what the imposter Albedo would have said if he was still alive. Albedo specifically mentioned that I would, like, if I was in your shoes, then I would want to replace you too, because I am the failure of the primordial human project. If I was in your shoes, I would take your appearance, take out you and the traveler, and then try to enjoy being a human. That's what the original Albedo would have said if he failed, or if he was the failed experiment. It's basically Albedo talking in the perspective of the imposter. I feel like a lot of people would have were a bit confused by that. It was not that Albedo that he saw in that cutscene was not a metaphysical appearance. No, that was in fact another Albedo, the original Albedo that we saw. It was also confirmed in the story that he told us. That was not even a story. It is just a fact that imposter Albedo, well, he was basically how do I say it? He was basically a failed experiment, and I feel like there was so much more to look into, especially knowing that Wildflowers has the chance to mimic. And the thing is, both Paimon's and Albedo's story are in fact callouts to possible theories. Albedo's pretty much was a confirmation of the three Albedo theory, there being the original one that's still alive, Ryan Dollar's failed experiment, and the Wildflower one that Ryan Dollar failed experiment created. The story about a Wildflower mimicking and turning to a human is an absolute reference or foreshadowing to the Dendro Archon, since if you guys remember correctly, I hinted towards this. If you look at archives and look into the Dendro slime, I'm just gonna do it right now for you guys. No, it's not this one. Oh wait, can I not? Oh, is that the one I can look into? That slime? Okay, the slime that's undergone ecological change due to its abundant Dendro environment. There are some who see it as something similar to Wildflowers, hiding its true form to trick its hunter's prey. In some regards, a plant that has been parasitized by some special plant. From this point of view, some creatures also see these slimes having some special medicinal value. People have been making crazy theories that, or I believe is true, about these slimes hinting towards the Archons. Now, if this is the case, that means the Dendro Archon would be alive. Because if you guys don't know too much about the Dendro Archon, by the way, click off if you don't want to hear me rambling, because it could be all rambling before I end this video off, or just skip to this time skip. The Dendro Archon is known to be dead, and not just that, but the current Dendro Archon, who we believe is Lesser Lord Kusanali, the god of flowers, is the youngest, and there's also a girl. We believe that the Wildflower is a reference towards Lesser Lord Kusanali, and the Dendro slime is representation of the Dendro Archon, someone that's been parasitized And people mistaken it as wildflowers. People have been using this comparison constantly, saying, "Oh, wildflowers is actually a call out to the Dendro Archon." And we never saw a wildflower mimic to an extent like this before. That fell flower that Albedo created, that the fake Albedo created, has the power to mimic its prey. I said that might be a creation of the Tode. Maybe. I don't think it's the, I know Fisher's no longer a creation of the Tode, so that there goes that theory. And I don't think the Tode's involvement was as present now. But the story that Paimon said, I think, is an absolute like foreshadowing towards what the Dendro Archon could be, or what's gonna happen in Sumeru. And we never knew how the Archonship could pass down between Archons when the first Archon dies. All we know about the Electro is that because they're twin Archons, it'll make sense for A to be the Electro Archon next. How would the Dendro Archon pass? How did the Dendro Archonship pass down? We will never know till then. We can only come up with theories and speculations for now. I just did a completed bridge version of it. I might do like a separate video looking into this event and analyzing it even further. But this event is so fantastic. So, with that Dendro theory out of the way, my thoughts on this event, I think, it has far none what we consider to be one of the best stories. I know I said this for 2.1. Oh my god, I like 2.1 the 2.1 event story. 2.3 event story just shook me. It's so much lore, it's so much foreshadowing, and there's so much to look into. And it definitely has me something to consider for what's to come. If I have one complaint about it, I mean, like, its longevity isn't bad. It at least lasted for like halfway through the Albedo banner. Or Albedo/Eula banner, as people like to call it. Its longevity wasn't bad. But I feel like they cut it off way too short. There's so much like questions. I have so much more questions than answers that I have. I'm like, what happened to the other Albedo? Where is he? Are we ever gonna meet him again? What's going on? You just left us with this. Like, literally, you literally just left me with like more questions. So, yeah, I kind of have this like, how can I say it? I just have this issue about the fact that I was not answered properly, and I'm kind of upset. That's all. But what can you do? Honestly, what can you do? That's what their theories, and that's what we have. That's what the archive is for. To analyze and look into see if there's anything that's hinted in this event. But how do you feel about this event? Do you like it? Did you not like it? Were there problems with it? What were the problems with it? Leave it in the comments, because I'm curious, because I think this event's fantastic. I think the activities are fun. Nothing too rage-inducing. Overall, just a pleasant experience. Then, and on that note, sorry. Next time on Genshin events, well, I suppose I'll see you guys at 2.4. And I'm not gonna say anything. I just want you guys to figure out what will happen next, even though there are tons of leaks of it already. But I'll give you guys one hint. In the case you guys don't like that leaks, and you guys just want to experience it for yourself blind, I'll give you guys one hint on what's happening in 2.4. We're going back to the beginning. See you guys then. ACairconditioner signing out. Have a good one, guys.